Hosting fights, analyzing data through the night. The sundered islands realm in sight. If you take notes, learning you might. Stones, classes, strengths, and what to equip. Strategy melts, combos a hit. Teaching rookies on the streets. Skill bot will give you a hint. Karmakast, the greatest show. Hero rising in the swarm. Pixel art, alpha drops. Charting paths and breaking norms. New players gather to learn. Tactics sharp at every turn. Knowledge they all yearn. In the pit, heroes they'll burn. Hosting fights, analyzing data through the night. The sundered islands realm in sight. If you take notes, learning you might. Karmakast, the greatest show. Hero rising in the swarm. Pixel art, alpha drops. Charting paths and breaking norms. New players gather to learn. Tactics sharp at every turn. Knowledge they all yearn. In the pit, heroes they'll burn. New players gather to learn. Tactics sharp at every turn. Knowledge they all yearn. In the pit, heroes they'll burn. Hosting fights, analyzing data through the night. The sundered islands realm in sight. If you take notes, learning you might. Karmakast, the greatest show. Hero rising in the swarm. Pixel art, alpha drops. Charting paths and breaking norms.
Welcome everybody to another amazing episode of Karmakast, the podcast where we talk everything about DeFi Kingdoms. And with you, as always, your favorite Italian host today, enlightened by this horrible reflex on my camera. 91K. Nothing, I can get rid of it. Nothing. I'm gonna have a shiny forehead. Maybe I sorted it, changing a bit the position. Yeah, possibly. As you can see, I just shaved, so Beaver cannot say that my beard is crisp anymore. And what are we gonna talk about today? So, as we all know, there's a bit of a fuss going on lately. Uh, what is this? Gold Rush Open Tournament, X1. When did this happen? It was not the Gold Rush what we just played, right? Zelis, I think you have to take care of this because this was definitely not a Gold Rush Open tournament. June 17 and 9. No, 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 that was not a Gold Rush. So what are we going to talk about today? What we're talking about every day since a week, apparently. How the meta changed, all the tournaments that are getting cancelled, and all this kind of shit. I'm double checking the arena. I didn't give up on it, but apparently I will have to give up on it because again it's not working. I fucking hate this shit. Arena such a flop up entirely. So why do I have the tournament list? I have the tournament list in front of me while I'm rolling this level up, just because I want to see a bit of the games that we've been playing this weekend. Uh, Absolutely, I know that a lot of people, oh, what the fuck is this? Okay, this goes in the reroll queue and we're gonna take care of it later. So, June 16, this was not a gold rush as well. When was it? Was Sunday. Sunday was the 15th. So, this won by Super Bowl. This was not a gold rush. This was a gold rush. She combat, yeah. This was a gold rush. Can we see the whole bracket here? Is there a way? I don't know. As many people is saying, everybody's playing Wizard lately. I know everybody's playing Wizard. Personally, I love Wizard, so I love that the meta at level 20 shift to Wizards because I find it a really cool and challenging class to play. It's not the easy class that everybody can play closing eyes. It's not like the warrior at level 10, one win, one win, one win. And then it's a matter of rolls. I think this is not correct. So one thing that I wanted to note about this past weekend, people is saying everybody's playing Wizard, but actually lately we had a ton of tournaments, really a ton, and today we had already one and we're gonna have another one later, where there's the rule in the game must include Wizard. So let me tell you guys, it's normal that everybody's playing Wizard if we are forced to play Wizard. I understand that what a lot of people is saying, yeah, but the Pyroglass is so strong. Uh, I think there's a lot of ways to slow down and avoid the Pyroclast. Seriously, I'm gonna just open a bit of skills here so we can have a look. Level 2. What the fuck is this? It's about. Why are you talking about level? Ah, fuck this shit. Okay, so one of the ways that I'm using lately to slow down a pyroclast is challenge. Why challenge? Because the the whole skill of pyroclast is based on the AP. I've seen, I was talking to Fex in chat a few minutes ago. Everybody's saying, yeah, but when you have a skill like that, then you should have something after that slows down or exhausts the hero. And personally, I think that this is already built in the wizard as a class. Why? Because all the other effective skills, which are Fireball, Frost Lance, and Pyroclast, this is the build that we are seeing lately, because you want to have that 10 points of arcane power in the beginning so that you ramp quickly. You want raw arcana so that you can ramp AP quickly, which leaves space to T3, T4, T5, uh, which means that you're gonna probably take one of few skills, the one available. Let's open them. Wizard, wizard, wizard. What do you mean invalid equipment? Uh, did this loaded the clear modifiers? Probably this loaded the last tournament I've been playing because no, invalid equipment. Which one is the invalid equipment? Okay, let me refresh this page. Um, this was weird. I never seen it saying invalid equipment in a private bout. Um, so yeah, clearly people is gonna try to use Fireball because you want the damage, you want the days, and the possibility of stunning. People is gonna use Frost Lens because you want to apply the chill in order to have a better Pyroclast. And then people is gonna use Pyroclast, otherwise we wouldn't be complaining. Which means that already three skills are set. Now, one is clearly arcane power. You want to ramp up the AP quickly using the barriers, using um, raw arcana, which means that you have that passive and that T1 skill. And this leads to have five skills in total. No, if you ramp up, and I've done this probably already 30, 40 games because I've been playing Wizard since when the beta testing came out, and I loved it. I was playing it differently in the beginning. Then I realized that since when the mirror wall has been changed so that it doesn't absorb the the sudden death damage, it wasn't worth anymore as before because in that moment was really protective, but now it doesn't protect you anyway, so anymore in the same way. So it became a bit different. People can just simply avoid. If they don't have a channeling ability in that moment, that you can put the mirror in between. It's like osmotic ward. No, somebody's channeling there, you can use osmotic ward and protect yourself. Instead, now you cannot do that anymore with the mirror ward because simply if people is not channeling, they simply gonna fast turn and avoid the wall. And then you wasted all the AP and a lot of mana for a wall that didn't really do anything. With this setup, probably okay. Let me see. Okay, we can select the wizard. So considering, yeah, here I was trying another combo, but now I'm gonna talk about this combination because this combination is super interesting. So if people select these skills this way, no, which is what everybody's doing, it means that after, even let's say that you get to Pyroclast with 34 AP, 34 AP is a lot because you start with 10. If your priest goes before you, you have 12. With raw arcana, you get 5 plus 2, you get 7, which means you get to 19. The following turn, you get to 25 if you're lucky. Otherwise, you're gonna get to 22, and then you will need another turn to get to have the 25 ready to cast Frost Lance because of course you want to cast Frost Lance when you have 25 AP, which means that it's unblockable and can easily hit all the opponent. Once you do that, you're getting 4 AP charge for each of the opponents. Let's say you have 26 because you get around to 26, 25, 26. Minus the 10 that you use, you get to 16. And with the 12, you get to 28. Let's say you're lucky, you get to 30, even 32. Okay. But once you channel those 30 AP of Pyroclast, you will remain with 2 AP. If you still have the barrier, you ramp up to 4. You can even ramp up to 5. Really. But believe me, your turn is gonna come after a shitload of time. And what's the percentage of stunning, guys? I've seen people complaining about this percentage of stun, saying that it's excessive, but it's definitely lower than precision shot. And you can do precision shot turn 1. This you can do it turn 5, turn 6. I think that that's really, we are talking about something really similar here on a level of, on an OP level, because and I've done a lot of pyroclasts. It's not that I've done it once. You rarely stun. You can stun. You can interrupt. That's much more easy because you have a lot of other effects that can be applied. You have the fear, you have the burn, you have the pushing effect, which is not even described here, and I don't understand why. I think fear gives the push effect. That makes sense. Okay, you interrupt people, fine. But believe me, it doesn't happen to stun them that often because the percentage of possibility that you stun is not that high. Even though I have a wizard with 70 intelligence, so it's not that it's got 25. You say, yeah, but 25, 1 point, that the intelligence score is low, 1.5, the low intelligence score, you shouldn't get anything. But in this case, if you want it to be effective, you have to ramp it up with 30 AP, which means that the following turn, you're gonna do nothing. I often, really often, find myself with a forced move the following turn, which is this Raw Arcana again. I simply have to run to ramp up again. And with Amnesia 4, it's gonna take me other 4 turns to cast this. It's not that it's gonna happen again after 2 turns. So it's a move that you do once, twice in a game, no more than that. Yeah, it's strong. It makes a shit ton of damage. It's exactly the only thing that this class does, making one move with shit ton of damage. But with the rerolled heroes lately, this is not gonna kill anybody. Rarely is gonna kill people. You have to crit. You have to get an opponent with low HP. Maybe a hero that hasn't been rerolled and doesn't got a good HP roll. It doesn't always kill. And you can see it because if this would always kill, and I protect this in the best way possible because I have both Freedom and Royal Guard around this. Interception. I mean, I play a composition built to protect the wizard. And if that would be the case, the last gold rush, this one, would have been won by me. It wasn't because it doesn't work always like that. You don't always kill. And believe me, I'm not gonna lie here. All the games that I played in this tournament, it doesn't show here, but I wish I could show you. 2 games, out of 2 games, I've done 4 pyroclasts. And the first game versus Pierre, we ended up basically drawing and having to decide because of the bug of the game, having to decide who was gonna win with a toss of a coin, basically. The other game, which was, I believe, against Okul, I'm never gonna call him Super Bowl, I'm sorry. The other game against Okul, which I can even show, I believe, here. I think you're gonna see it in a second. I'm gonna let it go in the background. Um, I think this, by the way, was a tournament we must have wizard. Not gonna lie. I don't think it's loading this. Okay, now it's loading. I'm sure that I've done, if not one at least, if not two, at least one pyroclast here, but I believe I've done 2 pyroclasts. And still, I didn't win. I didn't kill, I think, any of these heroes because it's not true what people say. It can kill one-shot people. Yeah, of course it can, but it doesn't do it always, and it's not a forced result that you're gonna get. It requires a bit of skills to do, and it requires a bit of skills to protect it. Because otherwise people is not gonna, somebody who knows how this game plays is not gonna let you do the pyroclast. For fuck's sake, it's not loading the game. I should load it, I believe. Does this, I think the game is recorded somewhere. I should be able to see it. Anyway, I'm gonna try in a bit. First, one thing, I had an experience lately. I played a game against Hope, who plays with Pyroclast as well. and he plays using you all know, I believe, the seer and the priest. Um, and what he's been doing, turn one, he removed the barrier from my wizard. Turn two, he dazed the wizard. And I got to turn five that my pyroclast was not ready. And that in order to keep up and try to ramp up my pyroclast, I had to waste skills that I would have needed after in order to protect the pyroclast. In the meanwhile, he did his pyroclast because he was ramping up. And I realized that I did a big mistake. My mistake was not slowing down his wizard from ramping up. So one thing that lately I'm always doing is using challenge turn one against the wizard, the opponent wizard. Why? Because if the wizard of course is counted, yes, it's gonna get 2 AP from the barrier. Fine. And it's gonna take 1 AP from the basic attack. Fine. 3 AP per turn is better than 7 because it means that it's gonna take 2 turns to ramp the AP that he would have ramped up in 1 turn. And I'm fine with it because I'm gonna make him waste entirely 2 turns plus a third turn to ramp up the HP that he's been losing. So definitely in this way I'm gonna be faster than my opponent. Another thing that you can do, guys, is using an archer clearly, and this is a fax skill. I call it the fax skill. You can use precision shot turn one, which has got 5 plus 3.5 dexterity score possibility of stunning a target for a turn. It's huge. My archer has got 60 dexterity, but let me see if there's a way to get there's tutorial. There is yeah, I think it's this one. I can calculate the hero score. I think I have it here. Let's look. Okay, accuracy. All dynamic. Latest dynamic stat calculator. Here we go. Here we go, baby. So. Dexterity. Ah, it's a view only. Edit access. Ah, fuck. Doesn't let me modify it. Okay. Okay. Let me take this example. So wisdom 79, intelligence 60. Okay. So my archer here has got 60 intelligence. So probably the stat score is here around 9, between 9 and 10%. Now, this skill says 3.5 dexterity score. If the dexterity score is 10%, this is already 35% chance to stun. Plus 5, you get to 40% chance to stun. Hey guys, welcome to the stream. I'm talking about what everybody's talking about lately, the wizard and all of this. I'm saying that an archer has got an insane possibility of stunning from turn one because with 60 dexterity right now I have 3 times 9, 27. 4.5 is 31. Let's say I have around 36, 37% chance of stunning with this archer, which has got only dexterity 60. And we all know that there's people around with archers with dexterity 80, 75, which means, I mean, a stat score of 79 gives 10.72 score modifier, which means that this thing can get easily to 50% stun. in the case of 80. And I believe that there's no comparison with the effects of the pyroclast when it comes to the stun effect, because clearly, first of all, pyroclast, you do it once, you cannot do it turn one, and when you do it, you have to ramp up 30 AP in order to get the stun. Otherwise, you don't get it because the stun percentage, it's based on the AP that you're using, and it's only 1.5 intelligence score. In this case, it's 70. So we say that with 70, uh, let's say we get 9.5, 9.70 the stat score, which 1.5 multiplied 9.70 means you get 14%. So you get 40 something percent if you ramp up 30 AP. If you ramp up 30 AP and you do it once every 6, 7 turns. With the archer, you can do it continuously, and this makes people jump turn. So I don't believe that there is not an answer to this strategy. I think that here is happening what happens in every game. Somebody came up with this strategy. I personally, I came up, I believe, with part of the strategy, and I've seen people coming up with another bit of the strategy and put it all together. This is the wizard strategy at the moment. People saw that it's working, so people is going with it wildly. And then, of course, because everybody thinks that this works, everybody says, "Ah, this is OP." But first of all, there's something that we have to consider about the game. The game is not complete. And there's no point in nerfing something now to buff it again identically into mobs because the whole game has been changed. I believe that that would be so stupid to do. It's the same exactly scenario that we live with tournaments, and I'm gonna get back to that in a bit in the second half of the stream. But let, I can make this example. It's something that the developers answered me when I say the first time, why don't we, why don't you cut in half the participants needed for every tournament during the week, and you double up the amount of tournaments, so you have the same amount of transaction for people joining, and basically you achieve your goals with metis and stuff. And I've been replied that A, that's the problem of the chests. Okay, that's secondary. But secondly, there's no point in changing something now, and then in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, people is gonna join to play and they have to change it back. It's gonna take a lot of useless work and waste a lot of time. And if this would have been a team of 100 people working on this game, I would have said, this is unjustified. Just change it and shut up, honestly. But this is a small team. We all know it. We cherish the work that they do because they do an amazing job. And you can clearly see that a lot of them are spending a ton of their time doing this. How many times all of a sudden something doesn't work or we don't understand something and they are always there replying. There's ball on jumping in every tournament that risk not to start just to make them start. So we cannot say that they don't work hard because they obviously do that. And load up extra work that is gonna most likely come up to be wasted time would be a bullshit. That said, in every game, and this is something that we all know because I don't know what games you play. Personally, I play, besides from DefiKingdoms, I play Clash Royale, I play Warzone, Call of Duty. Every season, there's something that is OP. And then the following season, that one get nerfed and something else comes up that is OP. So we all know that in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the pirate is gonna come up, it's gonna break all the barriers, it's gonna slow down the opponent, it's gonna do a shit ton of damage, and the wizard is gonna probably be nerfed. Already with the pirate coming out, the wizard is gonna automatically get nerfed by the effects of these different classes. It's the same thing as we were complaining 2 weeks ago, guys. We were complaining about the archer with the channeling abilities making too much damage. They didn't even need to nerf that. They released DE, level rerolls, people started rolling higher HP, and all of a sudden the archer cannot one-shot you anymore, even if the opponent has got 2 or 3 archers, because they cannot do enough damage with the right timing in order to stop you from to one-shot you. And that was really healthy, honestly. Why it was healthy? Because we were pissed at the fact that a player could come in with archers, simply channel one turn and stun you and do 900 damage with 2 archers and kill your priest or your support on turn 1. That was frustrating. They didn't even need to nerf that. The game adjusted itself with the new releases, which is exactly what is gonna happen with the Pyroclast and the Wizard, which what is gonna happen with the Pirates when then the following class is gonna come up, like Legionary is gonna come up after Pirates and is gonna taunt the Pirates and is gonna retaliate X%, and every time the Pirate is gonna attack, it's gonna take back a ton of damage. I mean, it's clear that this game is built in a way where everything is like rock, scissors, paper. Rock beats scissors, scissors beats paper, paper beats rock. That's easy. It's basic understanding of every of this type of game where you have multiple classes. You know that each class has got the advantage against another. And it's absolutely normal. Let me see if from the game I can view tournaments. I can find last weekend tournaments. Daily skirmish 13. Yeah, should be Holmgang. What was Holmgang? Oh, I wanted to play this shit. Gold Rush. Gold Rush, where we were quite a lot of people. Okay, yeah, I wanna show you first of all this game I played against Hope. I'm gonna just let it run in the background if it works. It should be working. So, as usual, this game goes with our usual compositions. Hope came up as first with this priest wizard seer composition, and I started playing with the double protection of the pyroclast as first person, I believe. And both of us have been playing these compositions for a long time now. 2 weeks, I mean, long time as 2 weeks, but we've been playing probably just between the two of us. Privately, we've been playing 40, 50 games already. Then every tournament, we've been playing this. So here I've done the bullshit of not using the challenge against his wizard. I remember this time I was so pissed off at the end of this game because I didn't do this. I let him ramp up. I let him ramp up all the needed AP to do this move. And needless to say, I can say, oh yes, Pyroclast is OP. But I definitely did a mistake here, which I can see, I recognize here I did a mistake. My mistake was to let him do whatever he wanted without putting a block first, without stopping him. Why, Hope, do you feel naked? This was the game I was talking about before, where he started canceling my barrier, started ramping up faster than me, doing everything possible just to slow me down. And I didn't do anything to slow him down. This blinding weed repeated 4 times on my screen. I don't know if you saw that, but it was like crazy. See, by the time that I got to 30 AP, he was already there. And look at his AP. His AP is 0. Why? Because people want to ramp up to that and use the move as quickly as possible because everybody's gonna try to get to that move right now. Nobody's gonna wait to get 40 AP before doing Pyroclast. Guys, let's not say bullshit. That's not gonna happen because it's useless. In fact, after this move, this priest will have only 2 AP. Yeah, here I got pissed because my Pyroclast didn't stun him or anything. See, the damage that he did was a crit on the priest. He killed the priest. Fair. But these other two heroes is a quarter of the life of the wizard and probably less than half of the life of the knight. It's not 75% sure. And people is trying to advertise this as something too OP. Why? Because it's gonna take 75% of all your HP away. It doesn't work like that. It definitely doesn't work like that. And you have to consider that we're playing with equipment that are worth a shitload of money. Because let's be honest, I have a Scully here and I have the Rag of the Nameless that both of them are worth what 15, $1,800. I mean, it's not equipment that every player is gonna find on the sidewalk. I say sidewalk because most of you are Americans. I would have said pavement, honestly. But it's not that you find them on the floor in the middle of the street. It's shit that I had to borrow from my guild to use because on my own I don't own any of these. I own 1/5 of a Rag of the Nameless right now, thanks to Mosh. That said, I believe then in the next 1 or 2 weeks we're gonna see definitely somebody coming up with an all physical composition with no priest that is gonna definitely fuck up the Pyroclast. I'm sure of it. I'm sure that there's a solution there. There's a strategy there that is gonna fuck up entirely the way people is playing Wizards. Because it's just a strategy. We have already 7 classes, 15 skills per class. Guys, there's for sure another combo that works better. There's no way that this is the combo that works better. I was doing this calculation with facts yesterday, and I'm gonna show you as soon as this game is finished, before launching the final of this tournament, that Frost Grip is much more powerful than Pyroclast. It's just that we got used to this. We like the hitting the whole team, but Frost Grip can do a lot more damage than Pyroclast, and you can put your hand on the fire about that. When Tomato Wizzy, I hope soon, man. I hope soon the Tomato Wizzy is gonna be Chef Tony, you know? I want the Chef Tony Wizzy. That would be great. Miracle Blade. Let me open this a second, just to show you. So what I was trying today, and I still have got to understand how to make this work, but I'm sure it works, is to use, instead of the frost lens, the firestorm. Why the firestorm? Because firestorm, yeah, it's lower, but it can add a ton of stacks of cheese. Literally a ton of stacks of cheese. Oh, sorry, of burn, actually. It does more damage because it does 1.8 spell plus 1 intelligence, while Frost Lance does this damage only on the first opponent. All the other opponent gets less damage, while Firestorm does this damage to everybody. Then it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rolls of possibility of applying burn on each of the targets, which is a lot. If you roll super luckily and you get 5 stacks of fire, all it takes is a firebolt to apply another stacks of fire and damage people forever. Because once that 6 stacks of fire goes in, you make another shit ton of damage with the explosion. But regardless, Frost Grip. I'm gonna take a calculator here just for you guys, and I'm gonna simply share with you the result of the calculation, because I think that this is interesting actually to do. I've done it before. Let me do like this. Manage equipment. I tested this chicken leg. I really didn't like it. I understand why people is using it, but I didn't like it. Oh, still 3 hours. Yeah, but it's what, 0.5% of here. I don't. Let's put this. Let me approve this transaction. Yo, Kurt, how you doing? Okay, so now I changed this to the Hydra Glaze, but it didn't update this. Okay, let me update it. Okay, refresh, wizard. Okay. Okay, so now spell is 130. Okay, so let's say that you go average on the firestorm and you apply 3 stacks of burn instead than 5 and instead than 1. But the chances are that you apply 3 or 4. Okay, let's say that you apply 3. Now, Frost Grip does 0.2 times AP, which we are supposed you apply 30 times spell. Now, let's say that you used only 1 raw arcana. I don't want to say you use 3 raw arcana, as everybody does. Let's say you used only one. 1 raw arcana gives you 10% extra spell. So if your spell is 130 plus 10%, it's 143 times 0.2 times 30 is 858 plus 1.5 intelligence, which is 70. I'm rounding up just for easy calculation, is 105. Okay, then it gets plus 10% for each stack of burn. We say that we applied 3 stacks of burn, is 30% extra damage. Then with the Ragus of the Nameless, I do 5% extra magical damage. Just like this, Frost Grip does 1300 damage. We're complaining about Pyroclast that does 1000. But sooner or later, somebody's gonna find a strategy that applies this, that makes this work. And then what are we gonna do? We're gonna cry, oh no, Frost Grip, nerf Frost Grip. I mean, It's clearly not the right mindset. As players, it's not the right mindset. The right mindset is okay, let me find a solution. And as I was saying, there can be a lot. I agree, hope I agree. Simply what you can do is build it up differently. And I calculated only one, that's why I calculated only one raw arcana. You can do that, but if you cast three raw arcana, because that's what you usually do in the beginning of the game to ramp up. No, you cast three raw arcana. If you have three, by the time that you do the frost grip, you have one. Or alternatively, you can cast one in between if you need the AP. You can already dispel Unstoppable. There's no need to buff the Seer to dispel Unstoppable. You can already do it. You tend not to do it because there's a barrier, and this spell falls on the barrier first. But you can already dispel Unstoppable. Absolutely. And actually, that's the exact reason why I played the double Wizard defense. You can simply that's why I used Royal Guard, because I know that neither of them is overly efficient. So one might miss. I can always have no make it dispel all would be overly, or that would be definitely too much, obviously, because in whichever condition, if you yeah, we wizard has a ton of things that are able to be dispelled. Of course, that's the RNG. I don't know. I think that that would be a bit too much. I mean, you can dispel everything in that way. Yeah, no, I get it that you're not see. I know, I get it. We are here to talk about it. We are here to share ideas, to share points of view. So I'm not saying, oh no, you're saying a bullshit, Mellow, because first of all, I would never dare to do it. But only if you are Dragonfly, I would tell you straight away, oh, you're saying a bullshit, but because I can do it with it, but I would never do it with you. But see, seer damage. The thing is, these seers are not made to damage. That's not their goal. I think that the best person using seer right now is Hope. Seer is made to predict what your opponent is gonna do and lay down a counter move before that happens. I can accept that Hope. That would be a good idea. Make this per remove 100% one thing. You know, I'll tell you one thing. A mirror wall, if it doesn't get the 30% damage, dispel everything. Just saying, I'm dropping this here just like that. And I get it, of course. It costs a lot. You would have to use the wall instead of protecting from the pyroclast to try to dispel unstoppable, just to then daze the pyroclast. There's a lot there, of course, but this game is becoming more complicated by the day, and we know it, and that's what we like about it. Because that weapon is not made only for the seer. Also, I believe that seer can play with the. I'm not sure this I have to check, but I'm curious now. I believe that seer can play with the stuff as well. No, unsupported class. No, okay. So Sir can only play with the stick. That's weird. I think that Seers are a weird class. They're not made to damage, they're not made to heal. They're made to use skills like divination and like osmotic ward. Who use a time sync? A lot of people is using time sync actually. Not a lot of sorry, a lot of people is using time swell, to be honest, not time sync. But full AP unlock doesn't mean that you use all of the AP. Means that you have it. You can cast the wall with one AP, and that will work. And listen, of course, these are ideas. We target barrier first, but I think that can dispel everything, not just the barrier. Also, it can negate future effects. Um, Clearly, this is an idea. I'm just saying, well, you can do that, and then you can do Chrono Purge, and this pretty unstoppable, if you really wanna say this. Or you can break the barrier with damage and then do Chrono Purge. Um, the time in between casting Pyroblast and actually the move resolves, it's usually a lot. You have at least one turn with each of your heroes. So you can technically do that. You can technically do the damage. You can technically remove the barrier and then chrono purge the unstoppable. I'm not saying that it's easy because it's clearly not easy. Like it's not easy to build that combo to protect the Pyroblast. It's not easy to break it, of course, but it's not impossible. Yeah, but I'm just making an example. I'm not saying, oh, this is the strategy. I sorted it, guys. I'm saying this is an example of a strategy that might work. I'm not saying it's the strategy. Uh, let's understand what I mean. I mean that I know that Wizard is clearly on top of the meta right now. I'm just saying that for sure there's another way of dealing with it in game. Used the Arcane a couple of times before, but that gives 10% spell for 3 turns that can be dispelled as well. Yes, of course. Yes. And as I said half hour ago, wait 2 weeks, we get the pirates. Also, wait for the pet combat bonuses. I can bet my ass there's something in there that is gonna make all of this conversation go away in a second. There must be for sure an active skill, dispel everything. And then all of this chat that we had is gonna be completely useless. That's my strategy, definitely. But then in between Frostlands and Pyroclast, there might or that there's a lot of times happen to have a turn. Yes, exactly. So I rarely take the extra damage from the raw arcana. Rarely. It's the same thing that we were saying before with the frost grip and the firestorm. You don't usually get that buff from the raw arcana. This to say, Yeah, true, true. Exactly what Hope is saying in chat, guys. It's absolutely true. You don't get the bonus of Raw Arcana. This spell would probably work. Yes, guys. I'm sure that there's strategies to deal with this. Doesn't mean that this is not a really good combo. Otherwise, people wouldn't be using it. And it's funny to see the people complaining about it. A lot of them are using this strategy. So, what's the point? It's clear. We find a good strategy, everybody's gonna adopt it because everybody wants to win. Nobody's playing to lose, except from Bolon. Bolon is clearly playing to lose, but everybody else is playing to win. So I think it's normal that even though right now the wizard is on top of the meta, this is not gonna last, and it's not even gonna require a net. It's just gonna require more development. Threat combat bonuses, new classes. That said, let's talk about the second half of this conversation, which is probably the half of the conversation that it's actually more impellent, more important. I don't even know if impellent is an English word. Probably I just language barrier this one. Um, we're having this situation with most of the daily skirmish not filling up and people complaining as fuck about that, which I understand because everybody wants to play, but then what happens? We can't because the tournament doesn't start. And maybe you've been waiting hours, logging in, putting your heroes in the tournament just to see it not starting, and then you wasted time. And that's really ugly. I understand. I've seen in chat the other day, Bolon was saying that there are some internal discussions among them to find a solution and change the tournament system. Both the sudden death system, probably for the next season, which, as we know, a season in this game is 6 months, which is kind of silly, to be honest, because seasons should be shorter. But okay. Um, I like sudden death the way it is right now. I just wish there could be a clock after the beginning of sudden death. Although I studied it the other day, I don't know if you can see it on screen, but now when I play, I have this tab. It's really difficult to show, but I have all the potion count on this side. I have all the traits count here in the center, and I have all the sudden death ticks here on the right, because I realized that the way it is built, simply you have two 5% sudden death, two 110% sudden death, then two 15% sudden death, then three 20% sudden death, then you have two 25%, and then it's gonna be 30% sudden death. It doesn't even really matter how much time has passed. You simply know, simply what you have to focus on, in my opinion, is knowing the percentage of damage that you're gonna get next time. That's it. But I wish there could be a clock in the game after the beginning of sudden death. Because what we get now is a clock that tells you death is gonna start in. Once it starts, it's written sudden death is active. Period. And we don't know how long it's gonna take before another sudden death. With a clocking game would be definitely easier to understand. Of course, what we can do is starting a stop clock when the sudden death starts. But at the same time, yeah, Melov, honestly, I want to show you the comparison. This is how I was playing before. These are the potion counts. Each row of numbers, I mean, every two, three numbers is a game. Now you can see how many games I played. This is just with this last composition that I've been playing with the wizard. Okay. Every 3 marks is a game, basically. Um, much better having a paper sheet like that where everything is organized properly. But honestly, having a clock that says you are 1 minute into the sudden death, you are 149 minutes in the sudden death, makes you understand more or less when the next sudden death is gonna come. I love the atrophy system. I don't think this needs to be changed, honestly. I understand that. First of all, every game like this, I said it, I play Clash Royale. In Clash Royale, there's the sudden death as well. After the 3 minutes game, you have another minute of game where everything goes faster. And if nobody manages to score a tower of the opponent, when the clock goes to zero, whoever has got more HP wins. That's it. With this type of sudden death that we have in the FK, things are a lot funnier. First of all, the tomatoes, all the idea of the Colosseum is great. Honestly, I love it. And having a clock that tells you how long you've been into sudden death helps you understanding when the next sudden death hit is gonna come. I understand that the difficulty there is that the calculation is not super correct all the time. I don't know if you noticed, if you had this experience. I'm pretty sure I had it. I've seen a lot of times that I expected sudden death to come at a certain point because I've seen 20 seconds of the turn, 20 seconds on the turn, 20 seconds on your opponent turn. Now should come sudden death, and then it doesn't come. And so you end up being like, what the fuck is going on here? Simply the clock is not perfect yet. Honestly, I get it. I get it. Would be lore-wise cool because somehow you're saying, okay, you haven't been battling that much, you get more tomatoes. But at the same time, I think that sudden death should be fair the way it is. It's just a percentage of your HP. The more HP you have, the more damage you get. That's it. Super straightforward, super easy. They don't need to overcomplicate it because already like this is difficult to follow up. If they complicate it even more, you can never know what's going on. Right now, and this is something that I have marked in this chart, when I enter a tournament, I check what's the 5% damage, what's the 5% of the HP of each of my hero, and I know all the damage that they're gonna get in the sudden death because it's 5, 5, 10, 15, 15, 20, 20, 20, 20, 25. I mean, you take a calculator and you know it, or maybe you don't even need the calculator to check that. No, but at least in that way, you know how much damage you have to expect. A crowd favorite bar. Yes, I get it. These are cool ideas, my love. It's just that you end up overcomplicating a system that is already difficult to keep track of. Mm. Because in that way, you are making basically DPS and damage dealing teams OP against protected teams. And I don't think that would be fair. I think that now that there is already a wide meta, because there is a wide meta, guys, we're trying to focus the narrative that the whole wizard or wizard, but that's not true. There's a wide meta. Mm. I bet that triple priest can be a fucking pain in the ass for the wizard strategy. I tell you now. I haven't tried it yet because I don't have the time to join a tournament with three priests just to see what happens. But I'm 100% sure that priest, wizard, knight, if they face triple priest, eventually they're gonna lose. Sure. There's no way because the triple priest. Yeah, but if you play, yeah, no, but even if you wait till 10 seconds shot clock, then what damage do you do if you put a crowd favorite bar? While right now you can play that strategy with triple priest and it can be effective, and I think that that's simply fair. The game is conceived to not prefer an aggro strategy against a super defensive strategy. They both have to work one way or another. I agree with this personally. I think that it's fair. Oh, man, I had that experience against Tokul, and he completely smashed me with the triple whirlwind. But now whirlwind has been changed, so I don't know. I'm thinking about trying um, warrior Zerk archer composition, or even I've been thinking about a warrior Zerk knight composition against the wizard Sir priest, and you simply taunt, put in damage, taunt, put in damage. That's it, and then you see what happens. Actually, if anybody wants, we can even try this now. If Hope has got time, we can try it now. It might be just fun. I might just lose in a minute, honestly, but would be fun to try. Um, but the story of the tournament, I know the meta is what we talk mostly about right now, but I think that we have to face the reality that the issue is not the meta at the moment. The issue is the tournaments that don't start. That's the real issue, and that's a problem, honestly. That's the yeah. Hope I can set it up. So send me. You have my ops. Send me just about. I'm gonna set up a team and try it. Let me know when you send about, and I just jump in. The issue is the tournament that don't start. Um, so I tried to talk to the team in the last weeks about this because, as always, and I say it of course jogging. Everybody start to get on the train 3 weeks after that I say something. When I say it, everybody says, "No, man, what are you talking about? Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit." Then 3 weeks after, everybody's saying it. But what's happening is that I have already the answer that has been given to me 3 weeks ago when I raised this problem. I said, "Why don't you halve the participants in a tournament and double up the amount of tournaments in a day?" That would be actually great if you think about it. Um, but that everything will go to the sudden death happens always in every game, Mello. Play Clash Royale. I use this example because it's what I play. 8 games out of 10 most likely are gonna go to sudden death, and those 2 games you simply have the matchup. That's it. If you have the matchup, the game doesn't go to sudden death. But if you play against somebody who's skilled, and let's be honest, the tournaments that we play, it's not that you're playing against a guy from YGG who's been playing 2 weeks this game. I made an example, of course, with all respect for YGG. You're playing against Esper. You're playing against Hitman, people who have got okay, I'll put it this way. Every game that we play, in, you look at the screen and you're looking at what, $10,000 of NFTs playing every game. It's not that you're saying, "Oh yeah, yeah, that happens only in the championship final." Every game you look at the tournament and there's 40 fucking grands in there, because everybody's got a Scully, and the Scully is worth what, $800, $900. Everybody's got a Rago, the Nameless. Everybody's got a double giant slayer, greater stone, legendary or mythic hero. One, two, three of those. And man, that shit is worth a ton of money. We're talking about the fact that we are the top player of this game. I say it's really proudly, to be honest. Esper is a monster, Ibla is a monster, Hitmanbert is a monster, Melov is a monster, Hope is a monster, StyckIntern is a monster, Okul is a monster. I probably said it twice, but Okul is double the monster. I mean, all these people who are spending a ton of time, people. Yeah, I'm coming. People who are there spending a lot of time, a lot of money, and putting a shitload of effort in this game. So it's absolutely normal that, mm, man, i- it's difficult. We end up in sudden death because we want to win. I mean, how could this be different? So I believe I'm not gonna play this composition in this way, clearly, because I tried it and was shit. I'm gonna try it more like this for the barriers. And here I don't need this, but I can do this maybe. Do I wanna do this? I don't know. Because I could even go with punch and try to silence them. That would be crazy good. Does the barrier block Warcry? Shucks, do you think that the barrier blocks the chat? Question for you, I have a doubt. Do you think that barriers block silence from Warcry? So that if there's a barrier there, silence doesn't go in. I'm not gonna try it now, but this is interesting to find out, to be honest. So I'm gonna just go with the classic composition here. And yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go like this. Uh, yeah. Okay, this might be a terrible attempt or might be a super revelatory attempt. We'll find it out playing. Consider that I don't have that we won't have any sudden death, which would be interesting to see, to be honest. And we won't have any. I don't have any second life resurrection, while my friend Hope has got both of those. So enter lobby. Don't you guys dare to sponsor this bout, please. Okay, I requested an early start. Yeah, I think that the barrier blocks work right. I wouldn't imagine and or slightly longer rounds, but I know Emerson would go mental. Man, I love Emerson. I definitely miss him around Mythic Squad server. He should come and out more often. Don't tempt me to spell. No, man. I press start bout so immediately before you will do that. Um, so, well, I'm gonna say the thing of the tournament after this game. Okay, I got it. I'm not managing to say it. So of course his team is squishy is faster, clearly. Of course. Even if Per Night Shout has got 40 AD. Useless in this case. So he used the raw arcana, clearly. Warstone on who? On Per Night Shout. You really hate him. Okay, okay. So basically you're forcing me to try to do this on turn one. Thank you. Really nice of you. Uh, this channel's 500 initiative, but it's definitely gonna remove its barriers. Yeah, I'm gonna try this. No silence. Okay, great. Okay, let's put in some damage. Yeah, my live reaction. Okay, look at the Zerker coming and breaking all the barriers. Because I'm a fucking asshole. Oh, now the Zerker is first liner. I didn't remember this detail. Okay. And also lifesteal. Oh, each basic attack returns. Oh, wow, I didn't know this. And what is this? Iron Will. Ah, yeah, extra resistance to silence. Yeah, silence me. So my Zerker cannot scream at your face. Okay, osmotic word. That makes sense. Fair enough. Basic attack. Of course, hitting the osmotic word. That there was no way that this was not going to happen. Well done, the whole hail petals. I would say let's put in some damage. Of course, he's gonna heal, which is fine. Now let's try to do this. Ah, I kept this skill that is useless in this case. Okay, well, I broke the taunt, but I broke the barrier as well. On who? You hate my warrior. So once again, he will need another whole turn or another barrier in order to get that AP. Raw Arcana? No, swap position. Okay. Of course he had to, knowing the subject. Uh, no, I want to bring in the damage. Ah, maybe it was much better taunting the priest here. Okay, but he didn't do what I expected. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. Frostlands. Okay. I don't know how Ah, yeah, I moved in because I clicked on the. This was absolutely great to see. So basically, what happened that the Zerker pushed the wizard with the basic attack, which wasted a lot of his AP. Warson again on the warrior. Man, you hate my warrior. What the fuck? What did he do to you? Another Arcana, so he's having already to start again. And at this point, gonna put this in. And I didn't get a silence once again. Yeah, Warstone. Oh, how many miss did I get there? How is it possible that I'm getting only 3% attack here? Okay. Mm, I'm so sorry that I have to do this. I have to do it. Otherwise, here we get stuck. But at least I'm gonna slow him down. What's his barrier? Hmm. Okay, let me put in damage. This cannot be counted for the third time. Okay, and I don't know who is targeting with the first grip. All enemies. That's not true. Okay. Did I put the wrong mushroom? Ah, I put the wrong mushroom. That's why I'm not getting the extra damage. Okay. So I didn't blind him, but I put the bleed. Ah, great. On who? Okay, I'm fine with that. It's quite challenging, of course. I didn't expect this to be an easy game, honestly. Okay, okay. Not super lucky, eh? No, it's useless to use now a potion. So, 1 mana while, 2 mana whiles. Let's him waste more time. Ah, this wrong mushroom on the circle is flipping me off so much. Warstone on the warrior again. No, okay, I'm fine with that. Okay, and I think this is the right moment to do it. So if he wants to get to another pyroclast, he will have probably to uh, use the last mana potion there. Okay, he's trying to ramp up the AP this way. Ah, he doesn't have the pyroclast, yes, the frost grip. Well, basically here the whole idea is to make him finish the mana before I die. Okay, fair. I don't think he put it. He put it with all the AP. I don't. I thought that he didn't put the whole AP. So what is he gonna do? First click. And where is he gonna go? Here. After the night. So let me get back some HP because I definitely need it. I have to dodge this thing, otherwise I'm fucked. Nothing. There's no way. I have to let him heal. Yeah. Use the smoke bomb as well. And the last mana. So you didn't have 35 AP to hit two heroes. Yeah, I only had, yeah, I realized it after. Then I hated I have the wrong mushroom. I would have been at the maximum bonus already since a lot of time. So I moved the knight forward because he's not gonna ramp up enough AP to do the frost lance with the thing that is gonna penetrate the barriers. So I can try to hope for a block here. And the best chance to block is, of course, the knight. Okay, I went Zerker, which is not good for him, actually. If I hit him hard now. Yeah, I hit him hard. And he's got the last heal to use. Of course, he's running away. Fair. That was a naughty attack, to be honest. Frostlands, here we go. Oh, the battery of my mouse died. Wait. Okay. So at least as a matter of satisfaction, the fear is technically dead here. Okay. Now he has a resurrection. No, I didn't block. Clearly, as you can see, I didn't block. Oh, there's an holy rat that I didn't know he had. Oh, so much faster. Ah, because it's not full equipped, right? Okay. Well, GG Hawk. GG. I think was quite of a close game. With sudden death, things probably would have ended sooner than this, to be honest. Uh, I expected not to be able to win this game, to be honest. I never tried this composition. In fact, I believe I chose wrong skills. Let me just check the skills that I had and what I could have done differently. So I had this Zerker, this Knight, and I had this Warrior. Okay, so this is clearly the wrong mushroom. I had to choose this one. That I mean, that was my idea, honestly, to choose this one. I didn't choose the sport-coated blade because I honestly don't have any barrier and I don't have any clans, so I didn't want to risk it. I could have probably tried this skill, but I wanted this skill to remove his barriers as soon as possible. But actually, this skill is not bad at all. What did it give me the life steal? Is it here? Ah, yeah. Whenever this hero is sent one or more alive during an action, gain the following effect. Life steal. Oh, oh! I didn't know this about the Zerker. And what about this one? Higher chances to inflict with berserker mark. Okay, okay. So this is not a bad thing now that I see it this way. But clearly, I was blind raging for nothing. I could have taken another skill in that case, instead of blind rage, considering I had this mushroom. And also, I'm thinking that clearly Royal Guard was useless in this context. Um, I probably would have gone for this battle ready simply to increase basic attack damage and block and spell block, which could have come handy in that case. How much block? 6.91% plus the bonuses from the shield and the armor, I believe. The armor has block them, bleed resistant, block damage reduction, no? But the yoke buckler gives 12% physical block chance and 7% spell block chance. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I could have gone with different skills here. I would have gone definitely with this. But I mean, things would have been so much different with tomatoes. Of course, I would have been able to snipe an hero a lot more easily. Probably the seer would have died because of tomatoes when he came back to life. But at the same time, I would have taken so much. This block is just physical block. Which block are you talking about? Because the shield gives you both block and spell block, as you can see. And this skill gives you both block and spell block. Also, I never managed to silence anybody. I tried several times, but nothing. Probably hold the line or push would have been better in this context, even because I could then move the wizard up front. The night block, no, the night block is got both. You mean from the table here? Yeah, then it's got spell block 1.98 as a basic, but then it's increased again by the skills and by the shield, so it's not that low. But still, I mean, it's not a huge amount, let's be honest. Which is weird because it's got for the physical block, it's got high strength. But anyway, I think that physical compositions can work honestly against squishy compositions, probably with a different setup than the one that I tried now, but I really improvised here. I didn't know actually what to do. Probably I could try using a combo, something like this. I'll show you. This one that intimidate everybody, and then going with war cry to silence everybody would have been, and then punish war cry could have been a good strategy, to be honest. Would have been nice to try. This is the night. Okay, that's why I couldn't find it. Yeah, war cry, punish, probably this that use the life steal. That's not bad. But yeah, I believe that there's a way to find a strategy that beats the crap out of the squishy compositions. But uh, let's close this subject meta. When suddenly you will have a hard time out healing and mage comp. Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's why I have to aim to deal more damage quickly. Honestly, I believe that. But still, I had the wrong mushroom, so I was keeping dealing the minimum possible damage without realizing it. I had some wrong skills, but anyway, it was an attempt, first attempt. Probably if I take more time to study this, I can manage to find a better solution. Um, yeah, I can taunt everybody. I can push. I can do a lot of things actually with this type of composition. But that said, before we close, because it's nearly half past midnight here, and we've been going on since nearly 2 hours now that I noticed. What I was trying to say about the tournament, clearly there is an issue here, And we all know tournaments don't start. We get pissed off. We wait time there for them to start, and then we have to try to bring people in last minute, which sucks, to be honest. Um, I believe that a good solution would be reducing the amount of participants needed for a tournament and increasing the amount of tournaments per day, which will mean having 4 tournaments of 8. I understand that for the team, this sucks because they have a scheduled amount of chests that they can release or that they want to release. A good solution for that would be doing 2 tournaments with the USDC reward per day and 2 tournaments with the chess. So you will see people trying to get in all the tournament possible. Or another solution would be doing tournaments of 16 people that start if there's at least 4 people. I get it sucks compared to what they try to achieve. But with all the tournament that didn't start, let's try to scroll among the latest tournaments to see how many tournaments didn't start. So there's 1 cancelled, 3 played, then 3 cancelled, 1 played, then 2 cancelled, 4 played, another 1 cancelled, 3 played, another 3 cancelled, 1 played, another 3 cancelled, 1 played, another 3 cancelled, 1 played, another cancelled, 1 played, 1 played, 1 cancelled, 1 played, then another 2 cancelled, 1 cancelled. It's safe to assume that the percentage of tournaments that don't start goes around 50%. I can see clearly that all the patroller limited are not going anywhere because people don't play patrols. Let's be honest. The drop rate of the item is so low, it's not rewarding. People don't play patrols. And I get it. I mean, I've been playing patrols, let me be honest, I've been playing probably 1500 patrols and I didn't get any good drop. So at a certain point, I simply said, you know what, I don't have this time. Better I play Hans. I sell the thing that I get from the Hans and I simply try to buy those drops from people. What can I do? It's much easier and it works a lot better. Gotta be honest with you. So yeah, patroller limited, patroller tournaments should be scrapped entirely and removed. They're useless. Unfortunately, but they are. So as I say, the possible solutions are those, or is a big real marketing campaign with paid advertisement, where you pay for people to see the game, be intrigued, and come in. That's another solution. Because let's be honest, Jewel is dropping consistently. Personally, I started spending my jewels a lot more careless than before because I know that anytime I can buy more for cheaper than what I paid the one that I have. So at this point, what's the point of being so attached to the token that is not moving up ever? It's always going down. Even if it does 1 2 days where it seems it's recovering and then goes down. People is not playing the game. The jewel is going down. Of course, this doesn't attract new players. New players come in thinking, okay, it's a crypto game, I can earn. I get it. There's a lot of crypto gaming where you earn that are just Ponzi scheme. Don't get me wrong. This is not. So this has got the proper gameplay behind. So honestly, I believe that it's much better than a lot of those games that are gonna die in 6 months. Because sooner or later those games are gonna run out of money to give to the people. So they're not gonna be rewarding anymore, and all those people are gonna move to new games where they get the money. That's it. especially people from countries where a dollar is food for 3 days. Of course, they're gonna play games where they can earn money if they don't have job opportunities. I get it. Honestly, I totally get it. Makes perfectly sense. So there cannot be a judgment here because it's how the world goes, no? If you could live off your gaming, and then you find out that the game you play is not gonna maintain you anymore, most likely you're gonna move to another game that does, if you want to be a professional gamer. So I cannot say that I cannot foresee and see this happening. I get it that the art season didn't start yet, and volley. Yeah, fair enough. Probably when we enter in the art season, everything is gonna move up, and I get it. I'm happy that the new burning mechanic is already having a good effect. Yes, there's still people selling common heroes for 9 crystal. Fair enough. Crystal is worth shit right now, so great, fine. But I know that we're burning those heroes, and most likely we will get mm, to the point where people is gonna try to reroll heroes level up and shit, and they won't be able to do it because that is gonna become expensive sooner or later. But we're far from that. Yeah, the first week we burned 50,000 euros. Great. The first 2 days we burned 50,000 euros. But we're still far from the numbers that we need to see in order for that to become scarce. That's the right word, I believe. There's no scarcity in heroes. So the issue is still the amount of people playing. And if the game is not satisfying because people come to play and then the game doesn't start because we're not enough, sooner or later we're gonna start to lose more player and more player. And the more player we lose, the farther away we get from the achievement of making this a good playable game. And that pisses me off. Not because of what I invested in the game, but because of how much I care about this game. I would be here talking 2 hours to a laptop. Sorry, I know that I'm talking to you, but physically, I'm talking in front of a laptop alone in my room. I could be out with a girl, or I could be, I don't know, playing Warzone, or I could be actually taking a shower because I went to the gym before and I'm sweating as fuck. So I definitely need that. I still haven't had dinner, but I prioritize this because I really care about this game. So what I'm saying is not said with a mean attitude or a petty attitude. I'm saying it because I love all of this and I want this to succeed, regardless of me succeeding with this. So please, let's find a solution that is gonna allow this to grow. Clearly, nothing comes without, and I say it from the eyes of a player. I won't be able to win without investing. Same thing, this game is not gonna be able to win in the game market without investing. And I get it. All the prizes that we're getting from the tournament, that's a form of investment. It needs to be sustained by other investments around it. Honestly, that's what I believe. Now, I was super glad to see that there has been a YGG tournament. Actually, before closing, let's be a bit. We are a bit of pieces of shit, aren't we? Look at this. Look at this. They got 32 players. Everybody passed the first round. Now, I'm not gonna, I don't wanna be mean, so I'm not gonna click on any of these games. No, okay. There's another round. Let's watch the final. So they were playing. Level 12. Archer, Seer, Archer versus Priest, Wizard, Warrior. Or common and uncommon, eh? I'm not gonna bet on this, but there's not a single trait in this game. No, I don't know, maybe there is, but let's check. No trait, I mean basic trait, basic trait versus basic trait, basic trait, basic trait. Did they just go one frost lance and one is going sanctuary? He went with rapid shot immediately. And the Inter, did he is the wizard? Because I did, ah no, the frost lance, okay, because I couldn't see the champ. Okay, it's funny because we are seeing the heroes how they are equipped right now. So seems like that this warrior has got no equipment. Okay, random like this. This was a weird move. What was that? Was okay. Yes. You know what pisses me off? That these guys managed to start a 32 people tournament, and we cannot start. Sometimes we can't even start an 8 people tournament, and we are a whole community. Personally, I think that for sure, if you go in Gen chat, uh, you get disappointed after 5 minutes, and you want to just leave. At least that's the feeling that I have. Okay, you just annihilated him. How did he taunt him? Is he playing Graph? He's playing Graph. Felt really random. But well, GG for whoever you were who won. Well, crazy shit. I don't know. I believe that they have, I mean, I'm sure that they need to find a solution. I know that 32 of you in this chat, all of you agree with what I'm saying. They need to find a solution. Tournaments need to be rewarding, yes, but tournaments need to be at a time. I mean, personally, I'll tell you, I go to work, I come back at half past midnight from work, and I can play because the following morning I don't have to work in the morning, but in the afternoon. Otherwise, I would be fucked up. I cannot play more than one tournament a day if I'm lucky and I don't have that they don't happen to be at 4 a.m. Because to make an example, last night the tournament was at 4 a.m. for me and was the only tournament I could play. And that sucks, guys, honestly. I won't be able to do this forever. If I want to go out, if I want to have a life, clearly I'm not gonna be able to play the tournament. I get it. But I'm one player, but how many times we didn't start tournaments because we were seven? So clearly there's the need of more tournaments during the day, even with less participants. I think that that would be the best solution for everybody. A tournament every 6 hours, so you get four a day, even if they reward less, but you can say, okay, I played because I wanted to play. That is gonna spread a lot of us, of course. So we won't have to play always against the same people. So which means always against the same heroes, of course. So the guy who hates me for playing Pyroglass is not gonna meet me because probably he's on the other side of the planet. So, guys, I think that that would be the best solution. I get it. There are difficulties that they need to face in order to apply that, and they need to put in effort to sort that to make it work. While they are developing the pet bonuses, they are developing I say the pirate because I'm sure that the pirate is gonna be the counter to the wizard. And I'm sure of that for the simple reason that I didn't manage to get the pirate that I want yet. So of course it's gonna be the pirate because can I ever be lucky in my life? No. That's it, guys. Thank you all very much for being in this live with me for more than 2 hours. It's been a crazy live. Thank you, Hope, for beating my ass once again, but made me test something live streaming. Hope and I play like at least 5 games a day. That's the thing. When there's not a tournament, okay, let's test this, let's test that, and we spend a shit ton of time playing. But thank you with all of my heart for being here. As always, guys, leave a like, leave a subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. Let's try to push this content in order to bring more people into the FK, or even just to have some people making fun of my accent. I don't care. Both are fine, whatever you prefer. Once again, I'm gonna see you next week on Tuesday if I manage to organize my life properly. We'll see if I'll manage to have the guest that I would like to have next week, Tuesday. Would be great. If not, probably it's gonna be another 2 hours of me ranting and then getting beaten up by Hope. I don't know. But this weekend there's the championship. So guys, I want to see you all stoked for that because that's gonna be big. Maybe I'm gonna win a crown of Submersia if I'm gonna be lucky. If not, I'm gonna be crying because I really want a crown of Submersia. That's it, guys. Thank you all for being here. And as always, Karma's out.
Mythic Squad, united by a bond. There's no corner of the kingdom where we won't reach your soul. No opponent safe. With Mythic Squad, better run and go hide in a cave. Ultra's got the best pets, overroads every land. People will hunt you down with this mythic dread. You know winning is our thing. We're Skeleton King. Every rap we win, step with us in the ring. Step with us in the ring. Mythic Squad, we will never be banned. Not from a bomb side or any mountain. Mythic Squad, every hero's on quest. Step aside, oh my friend, you will have to repent. Mythic Squad, we will never be banned. Not from a bomb side or any mountain. Mythic Squad, every hero's on quest. Step aside, oh my friend, you will have to repent. I'm with Moss in the pit, selling ghouls like PNC. Rod tossed on bus keys, we're the kings of the seven seas. Mythic Squad, we will fly high with the wings of a dragonfly. Needs to return, gives us powers. Meet us up in the office hours. Hunting box with us mate. Mythic swords in my hands, 91K. Thoughts guide us through the stages while we summon mythic sages. Dark nights, spellbound crazy. Mythic Squad will remain for the ages. Mythic Squad.